Hey guys, so today I'll be showing you how to contour and highlight your face using cream products as well as other products to help you intensify your contour. If you would like to know how to get this look, then keep on watching. I've already primed my face and applied my foundation, so now let's move on to contouring and highlighting. The first product I'm going to use is Maybelline's Dream Lumi Touch Concealer in the shade Ivory. This is a highlighting concealer, so it helps brighten up the areas that you would like to stand out more. So fill in the triangular shape right underneath your eyes, and we usually get discoloration or darkness around our nose, so I like to put some highlighter there and down the bridge of the nose as well. And I usually like to create a little funky mustache and fill in my cupid's bow, as well as dabbing a few strokes on my chin. Drag some concealer up towards your forehead, brighten that area up as well, and same thing to the other side. Apply some on your cheek and right underneath your eyes. If you tend to have dark circles, you may add a bit more concealer to this area at this time. And after you are done applying concealer to all those areas, you might look a little bit crazy, but we are going to blend this out. You can choose to use a damp beauty blender, or in this case, today I am going to use a foundation brush. I find that a foundation brush helps blend my concealer and foundation together nicely. So I'm just going to continue and blend all of this out. If you do have dry skin, I do recommend using a damp beauty blender because it really does help melt your foundation and concealer together into your skin and not leave any dry patches. I find that using a foundation brush can sometimes create those dry patches and lines on your skin. I do have dry skin, but this particular concealer is really moisturizing. It is a Dream Lumi concealer, so it tends to give me that nice glow and it's pretty moisturizing. So keep blending out your concealer. It might take some time, but it is the key thing here. You need to blend out your concealer nicely so that it kind of melts away into your skin. Personally, I think contouring highlighting is not very time efficient, so I don't do this every single day. I only do this for special occasions or when I am taking pictures or doing videos for you guys. You can already start seeing the difference. You can already tell that my face is a lot more brighter and it definitely brings out all those areas that I've highlighted and applied concealer. It is time to bring out the next guy, which is the star of the show. It is Maybelline's Fit Me Shine Free Foundation Stick in the shade 330 Toffee Caramel. It is a very, very creamy concealer foundation stick, and I'm just going to apply this right underneath my cheekbone. So if you take a concealer like that, measure it out from the top of the ear to the corner of your lip, and make sure not to pass the outer corner of your eye. So stick to the outer part of your face. I'm going to apply a few strokes to my temples, as well as the top of my forehead. These are areas that the sunlight would hit naturally on the surface of your face. And same to the other side. Just apply it right underneath my cheekbone. Next, I'm going to take a clean eyeshadow brush, dip into the bronzer, and apply some onto the side of my nose. Just going to run this down the side of the bridge of my nose to make it look like my nose is a bit straighter and that I have a taller nose bridge than I actually do. So I'm applying this much heavier than I would, just so this shows up on video and for you guys to see where I'm actually applying this bronzer. Normally I would not apply it this much just because it's quite dark and it's going to be difficult to blend out if I have this much on. But just for this video, I am going to leave the contour pretty dark so that you can tell exactly where it goes. Next, I'm going to apply this stick onto the bottom of my jawline. This method will help slim down your jawline. So this is what it looks like after I applied my bronzer. Now it is time to blend these out. So grab a brush. I am using a duo fiber stippling brush to help me blend this out. And take your time with the blending, just making sure that there are no harsh lines and that everything is blended out from under your cheekbone, up to your temples, over your forehead, down to the jawline. I like to blend my bronzer into my hairline so that it looks more natural. There's a nice transition. Sometimes while blending, I like to shape my brush like so then I can create a nice defined line right underneath my cheekbone. Don't forget to blend out the contour on a nose. I'm going to take a eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to blend this line up as much as I can. And I apply this with a heavy hand, so I don't think I can completely blend this into my skin because the foundation stick is about 5 shades darker than my natural skin tone. I purposely chose a darker shade and applied it with a heavier hand today so that you can see exactly where to apply the bronzer on the nose. But for everyday contouring, I wouldn't use such a dark bronzer. I would say a shade that is about 3 to 4 shades darker than your natural skin tone would be best. Now we are done with cream products. You can leave it like this if you wish, but if you really want your cream products to stay, you have to apply a powder. So we are using Rimmel's natural bronzer in the shade 21 Sunlight. And this will help intensify our contour as well. So squeeze the brush and apply it right underneath our cheekbone where we first applied the cream bronzer. So just run against there and just move it side to side. Remember not to pass the outer corner of the eye. Same thing to the other side, and again I'm just going to squeeze my brush and intensify that area. Remember to blend it out nicely. And at this point you should already be able to see a difference with the contour and how different your face shape looks. So now I'm going to apply some more powder bronzers onto my temples just to make sure my cream bronzer or foundation stick really stays in place throughout the day. I'm going to take the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. Taking a fluffy brush, I am going to set my highlighting concealer. So where I applied the concealer right underneath my eyes, as well as putting it down my nose and across my forehead, and also putting some on my chin and my cheeks. If you have oily skin or combination skin, you might want to use a setting powder before applying a highlighting powder such as this ambient lighting powder. Because I have dry skin though, I try to stay away from setting powders because they tend to look really dry on my skin. I also like to apply this light reflecting powder across the top of my cheeks. I am going to apply NYX's cream blush in the shade Golden. This is optional, you can choose to apply blush or not. I'm going to use an angled blush brush and just apply onto the apples of my cheeks and sweeping it upwards towards my temple. And sweeping it upwards will help lift your cheekbones, giving you that nice defined look. Make sure not to put on too much because we already have that bronzer color on our face. Be sure not to apply the blush too close to the nose, from the apples and the cheeks and up. Make sure not to mix it with a bronzer or else it'll end up looking really muddy and we don't want that. I'm going to take an eyeshadow stick. This is Kate Lasting Color Eyes in the shade WT1. It is a nice pearly white shimmery color. I'm just going to apply this onto the inner corners of my eyes as well as my brow bone and the start of my brows. This will help bring out all those areas and make you look more awake. I'm going to apply some onto my Cupid's bow. As well as my chin. And this is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Please leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!